Hello, everybody. This is Lance Tomashiro, and I am so excited that you made it here today. There has been a lot of stuff going around on the internet in the last 2-3 months, and quite honestly, I think a lot of the things that have been going around are preventing people from getting to the place that they want to be. There's a really simple formula that you need to follow in order to actually start making money the correct way online. And the correct way is a way that is sustainable, that is long-term, and isn't something where you just throw something out to the wind, get paid one time, and then it's over. I mean, think about this for a minute. If any of you guys have been around on the internet for any length of time, how many times have you seen somebody come out, make a big splash, sell a product for $7, $10, $40, and then you never hear from them again? Well, it happens all of the time. And the problem with it is that they don't build the right system. They don't put the right things in place so that they can make money over and over and over again, but more importantly, so that it's done automatically. So what Robert's going to show you here today is exactly how you can get your entire internet business up running online so that it works for you passively and recurringly, and that you can get it up in just 3 days. So we want to make sure that you can hear us. We want to make sure that you're paying full attention. This is going to be an action-packed webinar with in just 60 minutes. Robert's going to show you everything that you need to know in order to move your business forward. So if you can hear us, if you have everything closed and you're ready to take your business to the next level, type 3 days into the box. 3 days. This is 100% live, and we can see what you are typing in there. Here they come. All right, so I guess they can hear us, and so without further ado, I bring out Mr. Robert Plank.
Awesome. Thanks for the introduction. And you know what, Lance? We're going to have to look up and find out if the word recurringly is a real dictionary word, and if not, we got to register that one for sure, because I like
I will
that.
trademark it. Recurringly is the way we want to earn.
Yeah, and so, I mean, I'm glad that you brought that up because, I mean, what we've been seeing the last, couple of months, couple of weeks are a lot of people who, well, they are not building a recurringly income. And what they're doing is they're holding themselves back and they're saying, well, I might miss out on this one way to make money. I might miss out on this. And they see about 50,000 different possibilities out there, all these different ways to make money, and they just want to make sure they have every finger in every pie, so to speak. And the problem with that is there's just not enough hours in the day, and as much as we think we are, none of us have that long of an attention span that we can actually follow through. So what they end up having are hundreds or maybe dozens of all these half-finished projects, and then they get really frustrated. They feel overworked. They feel like they're putting in all this time, all these hours, all these years just to create 10% of all these different things. And they feel like, well, I've put in all this work, I've put in all this time, don't I deserve to be rewarded for what I've created? And well, the answer is yes, as long as you actually finish things and actually follow through with things and actually have a real plan and actually get to where it is you need to go. And I mean, Lance and I have been sometimes we're on track, sometimes we're not, but throughout the whole time, the times that we have actually grown our business very quickly, and the people that we've worked with, people that we've coached, people that we've seen who have also had a big fast rise have had a good mentor. And I mean, however you want to look at it, if when you buy someone's membership course, buy someone's book, in a way they are your mentor. And if you buy someone's course or someone's book or listen to someone's training and it's taking you out on the wrong path, that's worse than having nothing, as sad as that is. The other thing is that your brain, as much as we like to think that, we have millions of ideas every single day, well, our brain is really only thinks of 60,000 things every day, which, I mean, you could think of as a lot, but I mean, if you break this down to if you're awake, 12 hours a day, well, it's not really that much. And if you think about, if you've heard of this whole thing where you're hit with ads every day, right? When you're have the radio on in your car, when you're at the grocery store, when there are billboards, when you're browsing the web, when you're on your iPhone, your iPad. So you get hit with 5,000 advertising messages every day. So if you think about it, well, even if an ad only gets you to think one quick thought, that's 10% of your thinking gobbled up, and chances are, I mean, these ads get you 20%, 30% of your life gone. So there are all these distractions. I mean, you hear about every day. Well, the newest big thing is this thing called Google Hangouts. The newest big thing is Skype groups, or curating on blogs, or reputation management, or flipping domains, or making all these review sites, or getting all these paid backlinks. Everywhere you look, everyone's saying, well, this is the one thing you've been missing out on this whole time, and if only you had this tiny little piece, then you'd be a multimillionaire and all your problems would be solved. And I'm sure you've heard it all. So there are all these things that can distract you, and I mean, it's not your fault, because at first you see all these things pulling you in every different direction, but unless you overcome it, then it's not good. If you let all these different pieces of the internet pull you in every different way. And so one thing that really helped Lance and I overcome this information overload, all these missed opportunities, all these different, $5, $7, $10, $20, I guess like a carrot dangling from a stick, is this whole idea of, well, you are where you are just because of your past experiences, right? They've led you up until this place, and you're not necessarily off track as long as you know that, well, the mistakes I've made, and maybe I've built some stuff up and I've lost it, I've got to build it up again. At least that's brought me to where I'm at, and I'm not going to repeat the same mistakes I've made, and the things I've done right in the past, I'm going to repeat those over and over. So if you don't like something, well, then change it. And if you can't change it, then change the way you think about it. I mean, I remember when I was about 20 years old, and I listened to The Wrong Mentor, and I listened to this guy who pretty much was, at the time, a liar. I didn't know it at the time, but he pretty much said that you shouldn't have a mortgage on your house. And he pretty much had this idea that, well, you should just, pay for your home in cash. And I remember being so pissed off at age 20 because I didn't have the money in the bank just to like get $1 million house, until I started thinking about it and talking to people, and I was like, well, you can't let one person's bad thought corrupt you and ruin everything out there. So but also at the same time, you can't be complacent. You can't be just surviving. We see so many people who they'll only come out of the woodwork once a year, right? And they'll have maybe they're retired, or they already have some kind of income, or they have like a spouse supporting them, or things like that. And they'll come out of the woodwork about once a year, and you'll see them make about $1,000, probably to pay for Christmas presents, and then they'll go back into hiding, and they'll go back into their regular day job. So maybe once a year they'll put out some like $10 product, and they'll sell 100 copies, and that's it. And then you won't hear from them. And in one way, it might sound kind of like, whoa, cool, that's a good way to make a living, except for if you only come out of the woodwork once a year, you have to start from scratch every time. As opposed to, even if you had limited time, even if you had limited resources, if you were, instead of trying to get $1,000 a year, if you were trying to get to $1,000 a month, 10 sales a day, trying to get consistent income coming in every day instead of just these once a year launches, you'd be a lot better off. And so, the good thing about the internet, and also the bad thing, is this thing called freedom of speech, right? And anyone can say anything they want. It's pretty much the wild, wild west. We don't have these governments regulating us quite yet. They sure are trying, though. But the good thing about the internet is if you have something to say, something for sale, like Lance and I sell WordPress plugins. If you have training on real estate, if you have training on weight loss, hypnosis, self-help, whatever it is, then you can go and you can have something set up in a few days, and you don't have to deal with getting a business license or paying these taxes or anything set up. You can just put something out there and then be done. The only problem, though, is that you see these programs, and I'm seeing people use words like scams that say things like, well, you can just push this button and make money in your underwear, and I put this in, and I put $10 into the machine, and I get $1,000 out. It's like, well, great. It's like a slot machine that always pays out. The only problem is that, we'd all like to believe that there's that magic button, you push it, and then $100 comes out. The only problem, though, is, well, what if that actually did exist? If there was a button, you pushed it, $100 comes out. We'd be pushing it all day long, and then we'd all be buying up all of these magic buttons, and we'd be hiring all these people to push all the magic buttons, and until you know it, it'd be hard to get a magic button. So this is one of those things where marketing on the internet is easy to do, but it also is getting a little bit crowded, so we have to be careful about what it is that we're doing. So my question to you is, well, if making money online is so easy, well, then why aren't you a multi-millionaire? Why can't you wipe out your whole house payment or your whole cost of your house in one payment in cash? Because all these people are claiming you can do that, right? Or they say, all you got to do is write one book and put it out there and you make $1 million. Or all you got to do is just make a blog, and what you should do is review different people's websites, different people's products, different people's programs, and you'll make all these affiliate sales just from that. Or someone will say, you know what your problem was is you put out a physical book, you got to sell an ebook. That way you can sell it as low as $5 to $2 and just sell 1,000,000 copies at $2. Now you have $2 million. Or someone will say all you have to do and set up this thing called an Amazon store, so you can make a website that pretty much, let me get my pen out, pretty much has this site and it lists all the different kinds of flat screen TVs, and then you can sell them all at $2,000, and if you only make 10% commission, well then you'll make $200 a day, and just set up 10 of these websites and then hire someone to make 2 new websites like this a day, and your income keeps going up and up and up. And it's like, well, it sounds good in theory, but yeah, right. So what is the answer? Well, I'll answer that in a second, but first I want to make sure that we have a truly interactive training today, and I'm going to be asking you a question. So once again, like Lance said, make sure to close everything down, close on all distractions, and find that chat box because I have a question for you. The question is, these things I'm about to list, what do they all have in common? All right, we got Clue, Battleship, Lego, Candyland, Roller Coaster Tycoon, Tomorrowland, Need for Speed, World of Warcraft, Angry Birds, Monopoly, Hungry Hungry Hippos. Go ahead in the question box. Tell me, what do all of these things have in common? I'm saying they're all games. They're all games. They're all games. All right. Any other answers? Any other guesses? Games of distraction. Games. Continuing income streams. That's good. Successful streams. So there's a couple things about they're fun, entertaining. The other good thing about all these things is they're all multi-channel, right? So they all are board games. So like Battleship's a board game, things like Candyland's a board game, but then Roller Coaster Tycoon is a computer game. World of Warcraft is a computer game. Monopoly has like online versions of it, physical versions of it, different rebranded versions of it. But here's this really cool, yep, and Dr. Heath got it, they're all movies. So, I mean, I was blown away when I kept looking these up. So apparently in the 80s, they turned the board game Clue into a movie. Battleship, movie. Lego, movie that's coming out. Candyland is in the works. Roller Coaster Tycoon, Tomorrowland, Need for Speed, Warcraft, Angry Birds, Monopoly, and yes, even Hungry Hungry Hippos is being made into a movie. So what's the point of this? Well, the point is that if something is working and something has a proven audience, why not go for it? And why try to reinvent the wheel? I mean, sure, they could make a movie that's kind of similar to Lego or kind of similar to Angry Birds, but why bother with that when they can just play off of all this existing brand recognition? Here's something else, is that these are the top grossing movies from back in 2011. I'm going to cross out all the movies that are either sequels or remakes or based on a book. So Harry Potter, sequel, 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 sequel. This is based off stuff, sequel, 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 sequel. Oh, this is based on a book. Cool. Oh, I think The Help's based on the book too. So out of the top 17 or so movies, one is original. So how about this one? If we go to even 2013, sequel, 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 based on a book, sequel, sequel, and I think that's about it. But so everywhere we look, the thing is that when people try to make brand new ideas, brand new things, whether you want to call them, movies, books, websites, when you try to make something new, chances are the timing's not quite right, or someone else already tried it before you and it failed and you just didn't see it because it didn't go anywhere. So the point of all this, when we're looking at, board games being put into movies or the most successful selling movies, is that there really is nothing new. Most of what works has already been discovered. It's just new spins or new variations on things that work. I mean, if you think about if you follow any kind of like internet marketing, how many products have come out in the past decade about how to make a product, how to make an ebook, how to make a blog, all kinds of them, and different people have new ways of setting up blogs or use these plugins or do it faster or do it better. So instead of trying to create a totally new kind of website, where, have you heard of this saying, pioneers get errors in their back? So chances are that either it's not going to go well or you're not get it quite right, and then, maybe in a couple of years someone will copy or someone will have the same idea and it might work a couple of years from now, but then it didn't work for you just because the timing was not right. I mean, look at even things like iPads and tablets. They tried those 5 years before iPads and they bombed terribly. They tried those 10 years before iPads and they bombed terribly, but when the timing was just quite right, then it worked out. So you can't make something new. So then the question is, well, why not just duplicate something that works, right? So you say, okay, YouTube, I think that makes money. I'll just make a new YouTube, a new Yelp, new Fiverr.com, Pinterest, Instagram. I see all these sites where they have, millions of members. They make all this money. Why don't I just copy that? Well, the thing is that everyone else had that same idea as you. I mean, there's tons of Fiverr knockoffs. There's tons of YouTube and Yelp knockoffs. And so the problem is, if you make like a Yelp 2.0 or something like that, I can look at that and say, well, why don't I just use the actual Yelp website? Why should I use your knockoff, which has less traffic, less members, and is obviously a copy? So what doesn't work is making something completely different, completely new. What doesn't work is making an exact carbon copy of someone's website. So what's the real answer? What's the big picture? It's that what you need to do is have something that teaches somebody how to get some kind of result in 30 days. I mean, that's, out of all the possible ways of making a website, that's the most duplicatable, because most people don't know how to do that. So if you can show someone how to lose 10 pounds in 30 days, if you can show someone how to flip a house from start to finish in 30 days, if you can show someone how to quit smoking in 30 days or less, if you can show someone how to get a website even set up even faster than that, whatever it is, that's your solution, and you have your own unique twist, your own unique spin on it. So I mean, we all have ideas, and maybe your idea needs a little bit of tweaking, but you probably have a pretty good idea already. So then what we need to figure out is then break that problem into manageable pieces. And these are the pieces. First of all, you need to have email subscribers on your list. You need to have traffic coming into your sites so that your list is always being built up. And you need to have offers, which means that you're selling things. And these might be like a book that you have, or might be an affiliate program, but you're sending out offers to these lists. And this whole idea, I mean, this took me years to figure out that I was only doing these three things, because if what you have in front of you, if you're being distracted or you're thinking about, well, should I go and try this new Amazon store, this review site, if it's not adding to one of these three things in your business already, your lead capture, your traffic, or your offers, then don't do it, because it's just adding in time that's not making you money and that you never get back. So that's the big picture, is you need to have something where it's going to solve someone's problem in an area where you're some kind of an expert. And even if you have competitors, well, then you're a little bit different than your competitors. And then you're building an email list, you're getting traffic, getting offers. And whenever Lance and I listen to someone's idea, or we end up just like, talking to someone and seeing what they're working on, then they might have a really good idea. And then my question is, okay, well, great. Well, you have this idea for a membership site. Is it up yet? Or you have this idea, all right, how big's your list right now? Because, I mean, you can have the best idea in the world, but if you only have 10 people on your list, or you only have, one click coming in a day, that's not enough. That's not going to do it. So that's what you need. But now, what tools do you use to get there to get your online income? Well, there are three tools. The first one is this thing called 4 Daily Tasks. This is the best thing that Lance and I have ever done. And, my life's pretty much split into before I did this and after I did this. Now, before I did this method, I was scatterbrained. I was in college and I thought, well, cool, it's a Wednesday or it's a Monday. I have no classes today. I don't have to work today. I'm just going to chill out all day. And I ended up, taking months and months off of my business. And I ended up, showing up a couple of days every month, or, taking off 3 months, showing up for a couple of days. And then it was just hard to get things built back up. And I would build lists. I would build lists of 2,000 subscribers, let them sit, and then the whole list would go away. Or I would write 20 pages of an ebook, never finish it, never put it out there. Or I'd put up a website, I'd put up an empty blog, never post on it. And so this is what Lance and I see people doing over and over again, is they have all this scatterbrained, half-finished stuff. And so out of all the possible things you could do today, if you have a to-do list, or you're saying, well, maybe I can do 30 things today or 50 things today, if you could only do 4, if your time was so limited, or if your health was so bad that the doctor said you can only do 4 things today and you had to stick to that, well, then what 4 things would those be? And I'm not talking about little tiny things. I'm talking about like 4 30 to 45-minute tasks, right? Just real focused sessions where you don't have your email open, you don't have your phone on, you don't have your Twitter on. You're just doing 4 things every day for some consistent daily progress. So if you had to do 4 things, what would they be? Well, they'd be the 4 most important things that you were doing. And if there were things that didn't get done, well, then either they'd become a priority, or they're things that you didn't have to do. I mean, do you really have to update your Twitter page? Do you really have to change the background on your Facebook wall? Well, no, because those things aren't going to make you money. Now, what will make you money? Well, the thing that most people are lacking is the complete, what Lance and I call an income machine, just like a web presence, basically. And it's not enough to just have a blog. We'll see people who just have a blog, nothing to sell, or no opt-in page. And we'll say, well, that's a good start. I don't want to discourage you or anything like that. And it's good that you are, putting some stuff out there so people can recognize you and people can get, you can get traffic to your website. But a blog on its own isn't going to help you. Or they'll have an opt-in page that goes nowhere. Or they'll have a sales letter with no payment button. So we have this thing called the income machine, which means that you have to have an opt-in page where someone can sign up to your email list. You need to have a blog with at least a couple of posts on it. That way people can find you from the search engines. And if they look you up, they know that you know what you're talking about. You need to have a sales letter. That way people can buy from you. And you need to have this thing called a membership site, which means that someone can pay you even $10 one time. We're not talking about a monthly payment or anything like that. But if someone paid you $10 one time and you delivered some kind of, coaching or a book or an audio or a video, then now that's a way that someone at least can pay you money online. I mean, I know that my first several years online, I know that I lost money just because I didn't have a button up there. And even if I had the worst product online and there was a button where someone could pay me $10, and even if I only got 1 sale a week, how much would that have added up to over the years? And then I could just improve on what's working. And the good thing is, when you have all these pieces in place, it leads us to what? These 3 things we talked about earlier: getting leads from your opt-in page, getting traffic from your blog, and then your offers are your sales letters and the emails you send out to your list. So you have all these things set up. And then at that point, now you can think, instead of day to day, you can think more strategically, because now that you have this sales letter set up, you can say, all right, well, now I have a pretty good website on here. Now I just need to figure out, what am I going to do to get traffic? So what's my end goal? I want to sell X number of copies of this book. I want to get my list up to this size. Well, now that I have that goal, now I can break that problem down. If I want a list of 10,000 subscribers in the next 6 months, I can break it down to what would that be per day, and now how I'm going to get 100 clicks a day to my site. Now it becomes much more manageable. And in order to avoid these things like burnout or getting overloaded or things like that, you have to have a really good reason why. I mean, it's not enough to say, I want to have the biggest bank account in the world, because someone's always going to have more than you. But if you don't like the house you live in, or you don't like how you're always overloaded with so much debt, you don't like the job you got to have that reason why you're doing this, not just for a number. But if you want to do things like, pay for your kids' college, or, pay off your student loans, or pay for your cousin's mortgage, or pay off your cousin's mortgage, or pay off your own mortgage, whatever it is, you have this reason why. And then now you'll be excited to attend these focus sessions, which is what Lance and I call an appointment-based business. And pretty much everything Lance and I do is based on a schedule, a calendar. So we don't just sit down and say, well, it's 9 a.m. What am I going to do today? Well, no, we say, I'm here to do this very specific thing. I'm here today to talk to you on this webinar, or Lance and I are meeting to get a sales letter cranked out, but we're just sitting down just to get these short tasks accomplished, not just to waste time and figure out what's going on Twitter and Facebook. That's what playtime's for. That's not business productive time. So the things that hold you back, I mean, that all sounds good until it comes time to actually do it, and you end up getting caught in this thing called the chicken and the egg. So you say, well, I want to get subscribers on my list, but there's no point in getting them on my list because then I don't have any autoresponder messages to send to them, right? I don't have a sequence for them. Or then you say, I'm going to set up this thing where, someone joins my list and they get a message on day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. But why should I even bother? Because no one's on my list to even receive them. Or we see people who are just going through the motions. Like they heard that you need to post to Twitter once a day, so I'm just going to go post to Twitter once a day just because I heard that's what I'm supposed to do. Or they get distracted every day by something new, so you buy an ebook that has 50 pages in it. You read the first chapter, you read the first 10 pages, but then tomorrow, hey look, a squirrel, hey look, some new ebook, I'm going to go read these other first 10 pages and nothing ever gets finished. And at the end of the day, you're not making the best use of your time, and that's a problem that only you can solve. Is instead of dabbling in this hobby, you need to be creating a real business. Because if you've been doing this for 12 years and kind of, plugging along and putting along, and someone else comes out of the woodwork and in 12 weeks does more than you did in 12 years, well, then that's not fair, but that's life. And so you don't get points based on if you've been just kind of like checking in every day and reading forums and learning about a little bit of everything for 12 years. And what also holds people back is this thing called the mom test, or I should say the lack of the mom test. If your mom or some person in your life who's over 60 or over 80 asks you what it is you do on the internet. I see you on the internet thing, that computer, what are you doing? If your answer is this real convoluted spider web of I'm moving traffic around, or I'm doing this brokering thing, I'm doing this arbitrage, and they can't understand it, that's not good. And you know why that's not good? Because it means that you yourself, your brain, your subconscious can't get a handle on it. It's hard for you to make new connections, new friends, and then when it comes, tax time, accounting time, business time, and you can't even explain what it is you do, it sounds like you're one of those scammers, one of those people who says, just buy my $10 ebook, I'll guarantee $1 million. That's not good. But I mean, when Lance and I explain, well, we do software training, now that makes sense. If you can explain, well, I show people a system to going from if they can find a house, buy it, sell it in 30 days, that makes a lot more sense. If you say, I can get someone's ads on the radio, or if you say, I can get someone's book written in a week, those are all things that you can easily explain to your mom or any elderly person in your life. So that's really important. Now the next question I have is, and actually, can you go on the chat box for me right now and type in what's the name of your website? Can you put in your website URL? And don't worry, I'm not going to click on it, I'm not going to read it off or anything like that, but can you go in the question box and type in just so that we have it? And I'm serious. I'm not saying just think about it. Literally go in the question box of this webinar and see, I'm seeing Joel and Wally, and people are typing in, Annette's typing in the name of their websites so that we know where your website is. And what's kind of funny is I expected that kind of a hesitation from Keith, Derek, Philip, James, Judy, Joy, Benson. There's a bunch, I can't read them all. But you notice how there was a little bit of a delay because you're thinking, well, which website should I type in? Or, do I really want them to see this website? And so many times I'll ask them for their website and they'll say, well, here's my website, but it's my blog. Don't worry about it. Or don't go there now, go to this one. Or this is an old one. And you need to have a website where I can go there right now, you're proud of it, and sure, it might have been up for 2 or 3 years, but it's selling and it's something where I can buy from you right this second. Even if it's for $10, even if it's for only $100, even if it's only for $1,000, I can buy from you right this second. And the next thing is, do you have a list of thousands and thousands of email subscribers that you can email right now? And I mean, this is so important because this is like the asset to have. Have you heard of that saying, the money's in the list? It's a cliche, but it's true. And I mean, if you have a list, then it'll open up a lot of doors for you. If you don't have a list and you're just someone with an idea, and everybody has an idea. So the way to be different is to actually have some kind of a list of hungry prospects, hungry subscribers, people who have either bought from you and ready to buy again, or who want to buy from you for the first time. And that's why, you look at, Facebook and Google and Microsoft and Apple, they're all just in a race to build the biggest list of subscribers. And they want to, do scale and have all this volume and not do all these tiny, hacker tricks that you see a lot of internet marketers do. For example, I really hate to admit this, but I bought a stroller for my cat a couple weeks ago on Amazon. And I'm not even sure if I can find it on Amazon, but basically it's like a baby stroller, but you can like wheel your cat around in it. So it's this one. So I can push my cat around. He's afraid of going outside. I can zip it up so he can't escape. But I bought this cat stroller, and then there was a problem with the zipper. I put in a thing, and then I mailed it back and got a new one in a couple days. But the thing was, Amazon didn't drag it out for days or weeks or months for me to exchange the stroller or return the stroller. It was just done. They said, I mean, I clicked one button and in seconds I was able to print on a shipping label and mail it back. So if you order from Amazon, if you ever, I don't know, if you ever return something, they don't give you a hard time, do they? Or this site Zappos.com, you can order like shoes, sneakers, things like that. And the problem with ordering like clothes and shoes off the internet is you don't know if it's going to fit as opposed to going in the store. So they're very good about their return policy. So if it doesn't fit, you don't like it, then you can mail it back. I think within like a year, something crazy like that for free. And if you ever return something with them, do they make it difficult? No, you click a button, you print out the label. They don't even have a human involved because they want to get that turned around as fast as possible. Now, if you sign up for a Facebook account, or I don't know if you're on LinkedIn, but do you sign up for Facebook and every time you log in, they say, wait, special offer for Facebook users only. You'll only see this offer one time. Well, no. They just want you to use Facebook, and they know that they've got you on a list. They'll show you ads here and there, but they're not so desperate to sell you and downsell you and upsell you again and give you this one-time offer. They're just going to get you on that list. And so that's a real good test, is if you're thinking about, should I have like a 5 upsells or 5 downsells, or drag my refund policy out for 6 months? Well, would Amazon do that? Would Zappos, would Facebook do that? If the answer is no, probably not a good idea. So there pretty much is no Santa Claus. Lance and I have the saying, when we realize what people promise and then what's actually delivered. And we see people, for example, they'll say, for $500, I'm going to host an autoresponder for you, a sales letter, all these different things, and it's all hosted. Don't worry. You pay $500 one time, that's it. And then we think, well, cool. I don't even need to have a website. They just host it all for me. Until a year later, they say, hey, you know how you paid that $500? Well, you got to pay it again, because otherwise you're going to lose your entire website, your whole list, your whole business. Well, whoops, they didn't tell me that, but now a year later, I'm stuck, and I thought I was paying $500 forever. Now it's $500 every single year. Whoops. Or they say, you know what? We got this brand new plugin. It's only $10. It's super cheap, but then you find out after you buy it that it doesn't do this one feature you wanted. It didn't do this other feature you wanted, and then you have to keep piling on all these add-ons until actually it ended up being $300. And you're like, well, couldn't you at least have been upfront with me and said it's all $300 to get it all in one package? That way I could have just decided based on that, and now I wasn't kind of stuck, because now I paid $11 and I say, well, now I could be out $11 because it doesn't do what I want, or now I'm almost in a way forced to pile on all these add-ons. Or they charge me all this money for consulting, and the next thing I know, they're bragging, they're showing off, they have all this money laying around, or they're saying, look, I'm partying, and they're actually partying with my money. Or they claim to be making millions of dollars, and then they say, I'm doing a tax sale. I got this huge tax bill, and I've got no money to pay it, so I've got to sell all these copies of my product. I'm thinking, do I want that person as a mentor? Remember how a bad mentor is worse than no mentor? Well, if someone's broke at tax time, do I want that as well? Or if something is selling so well, then why are they closing it in 2 days? Like, wouldn't they want it just to sell every single day? Or if it sold so well at $1,000, why did they drop it down to $7? So none of these things make sense. And Lance and I see people, and it's not just one person, it's tons of people, and I'm sure they don't even realize that they're off track and they're saying one thing and doing another. And what that leads to are all these people who are just like dazed and confused and distracted with 5 shopping cart accounts, 5 autoresponders, 5 hosting accounts, 5 sales letter plugins, because they're researching and they've heard that I can't miss out on anything. I've got to make sure I have a copy of everything. That way I have all the possible features. The problem, though, is where does it all fit together? And you probably base some of those based on price, right? Because this one was only $5, this one was only $50, and you should have just bought one and rolled with it, right? Because what successful people know that others don't, well, it's not that they're smarter, it's not that they work harder or put in more hours, is that they have this huge reason why. They say, I want to provide for my family, and so I'm just going to get something that's good enough, and I'm going to get that sales letter plugin that gets me online right now, and not try to compare features and not spend 6 months comparing these different ones. You need to be making consistent progress and hurtling, not towards the end goal, because I mean, are you really ever done? Well, I guess that's called death. But are you really at the point where you're like, okay, cool, business is done, I'm not doing anything else? So no, you're always moving towards the next milestone, the next project, next launch, next product. So every single day you're just moving towards that next milestone. And you do come across bad things. But you know what, I was thinking about this earlier today is, I mean, Lance went through this years ago, I went through this years ago. We've all been at the point where we built up a bunch of money, lost it all. Well, what happens is that a lot of these people who you see who actually make it, they build up money, lose it all, build it up again, lose it all, and then finally kind of stay there. Well, people who luck into money, like lottery winners, people who ended up, right place, right time, they make a bunch of money, lose it all, and then they're done. Right? So, I mean, these are the two choices, is make it, lose it, make it, and then stay there, or luck out and then kind of give up. So, I mean, that's the only choice, is do you want to give up or not, or, keep going. So I'd rather you just keep going. So you provide value to the marketplace. You're not looking to exploit a loophole or make some Amazon store. You say, people have a problem with weight loss, with real estate. I can help them. I'm going to set up this web presence to solve that. And when things don't go your way, so maybe you don't have your product positioned quite right, you don't know how to do a product, or you don't know how to differentiate yourself from the marketplace, well, then you just course correct. I mean, all the time, Lance and I will see some competitor of ours come on the marketplace, and we'll say, well, instead of getting butt hurt, we just say, well, what are they doing differently? And either we can position ourselves and explain them away, or absorb those changes. And so much of that helps with having a guide or a mentor to see the problems that we're too close to see, to tell us how to course correct. Or when we're trying to make this crazy funnel, we just say, well, instead of trying to set up 50 different sites, we look at people who've actually done it well and done it successfully and made money. What did they do? They may not copy, but kind of model what it is they've done. So what is it that you need to have? First of all, the basics. You need to have a niche and have a system that is about $100 or so, something simple like a 30-day program that's just a little bit different than everyone else. You register a domain name, and you'd be surprised how many people don't have just a go-to domain name. Just one domain name where it's like, oh, hey, this is my main website. And then when I type in your web address, something's actually there. Seems real simple, but I mean, and you don't have to admit it if you're one of these people, but so many people don't even have a website that I can go to. But if you have an idea, you have a domain name, you have a website, you're already that much further than 90% of people online, but now you actually have to make your website do something, right? So my next question is, how can I join your newsletter? Where can I go and fill in my name and email address on the front page of your site? And once I join that, well, do you send me updates and news and advice and questions, get me thinking, and offers to buy? Most people won't do that, or they'll just say, I'm going to register with every affiliate program out there. I'm going to register with this weight loss program. I'm going to register with this piano playing program, with this learn Spanish program, and I'm just going to flood my subscribers with all these offers, a new one every day, and wonder why it didn't work. Or they say, I'm going to go and buy 1,000 articles. I'm going to get them all spun. I'm just going to flood my blog, flood the internet with all these articles, and wonder why it's all a bunch of junk, because they just went through the motions. They aren't actually trying to help people out there with the problem of losing weight, the problem of getting a website set up, the problem of flipping a house or selling their house, or things like that. So the cool thing is, if you're helping people with the problem, then it's easy to figure out what are the top 3 problems someone's having, or what are some 3 quick emails I could write. And then you think about, well, what's the real system? What's the big thing I can sell them? So can I buy something from you? And, what is it? And why should I care about, why you have this to offer me, and how you're different, and why do you need it right now instead of later? And now, what are the pieces and what's in it? So if you answer these simple questions of, what is it? Why should I care about it? What are the pieces? How much is it? What's the price? Well, then just those 4 things will give people all the information they need to make a buying decision. It doesn't have to be a 10-page website or 50 pages long scrolling down thing. Just answer 4 simple questions, and that's a place to start and go from there. So continuing from that, Lance and I see so many people where there is this long sales letter. I click the button to buy, and the button doesn't go anywhere. Or I buy, and then there's nothing on the other end. So what we need to do is have this thing called the download page, where after I pay you, now I can download the product. And even better than that is to then have something where I can log in at any time to access my download, even a year from now. If you ever update it, if you add bonuses, I can just log into that same site, and it's no extra work for any of us. So all that sounds good, but then the question is, well, who's going to help you with that? Well, if you ever tried to hire a programmer or get a computer geek to do it, you have to basically educate them on all this marketing stuff. It's way too much skill, and there's no way, they have no way to explain or simplify it. So then you think about, well, maybe I'll have a teacher teach me these things. And the problem with a lot of these teachers is they'll just go out and they'll just buy 2 or 3 courses, and then they'll just kind of take notes and make some bullet points, and they'll just sell their notes. And they won't actually do things. They'll just kind of show you these bullet points of, what it is they've heard about. And then maybe you'll find someone who actually does things, but they're a marketer, and they'll tell you what you want to hear and not what you need to hear, like set up a website. And then the final and correct answer is these people called Robert and Lance. I'm Robert. The guy earlier who introduced me was Lance. We have this thing called goal-based training where we say, what do we want to do? We want to have a membership site set up by tomorrow. We want to have these things in it. It's not going to be the craziest membership site in the world, but it'll have what it needs to have done. Next, we need to explain to people what it is, so we'll make a sales letter, put up these different talking points, put up a button, it's done. Then we'll say, well, now we need to run a promotion, run a webinar, or have some of our affiliates email for this thing or mail our own list, and that's done. But we're just making these baby steps, and it builds on its own every day. So now, if I want more money, I'll launch a new product, send a new email, get a new affiliate, joint venture partner, find a new source of traffic, build a bigger list. But you can't do any of this fun stuff until you get your website set up. Right? Because now, instead of goofing off with some site flipping or Amazon store, what if that new blog I set up brought people back to my website, or built my list, and then my list sold them my product? Now you could just slowly build on what you already have. So if I want to buy something from you, where can I pay you money? Where can I get on your list? And if your answer up until today was just go to my blog, or I'm still working on it, well, that's not good, because what if I just want to go somewhere and give you money right now? So you need a website, and why is that one thing holding you up? Well, it's because maybe you don't have a clear plan, or you don't realize that it really only comes down to one of these 2 stages, where you set up, you get your website online, the beginning part, and then you grow it, where you get more traffic, you get better conversions, but that's it. So instead of hemming and hawing for 6 months about, I'm going to make the perfect book, the perfect product, just get your website set up. Don't take forever on it. Just get your income machine up and running, which means a niche and domain, website and web host, Optin Page, autoresponder emails, a blog, sales letter, membership site, and traffic. Okay, so the best tool that we have for you to get all this set up is this thing I'm going to show you right now called the paper template, where you use WordPress to point and click. You don't have to FTP, edit code, none of that. It doesn't override your current site, so if you already have a WordPress site, that's cool. It has built-in copywriting, so if you ever had a writer's block or wondered, well, what do I even say on a sales letter, we got that covered. And then you can add as many pages as you want, add testimonials, guarantees, order forms, buttons, add everything you want, and these are all the things that used to hold you up until today. So let me just show you what I'm talking about. I'll close the cat stroller, and we're on this site that's got nothing on it. I've just set up for you today, called membershipnewbie.com. Nothing on it at all. It's just a regular WordPress blog. And what we're going to do is, well, let's set up what's called an opt-in page. So for some of you that might take several weeks, but right now we're going to do it in a couple of minutes. So I go to my WordPress backend, and if you don't know WordPress that well, that's fine. Just kind of like follow along as best as you can. We have nothing on here except for this plugin called the Paper Template plugin, which is a plugin that Lance and I sell, right? So we're going to activate this plugin, and once that's on, in our sidebar we have this menu here that says the Paper Template. And I can just say, well, I want to make a web page kind of like the one that we see here, where it has a headline, it has a couple bullet points, and there's a form to fill out. For some of us, that's a huge undertaking. But if we have this point and click system, we can just say, I want to go to Paper Template, New Landing Page, and then I want to just call this my opt-in page, right? So someone can opt in to get a free gift, and I can go to this pre-written opt-in page, boom. And then now all I have to do is just change these placeholders basically, and then I'm done. So if I just if I publish this and then I view the site that I've made, check it out. Just from a couple of clicks here, now we have a web page where there's a headline, there's bullet points. I can put in a registration form. So if I edit this page again, and then I go back, and I don't know if you guys have used this thing called Aweber, where you can have an autoresponder, and if not, just kind of follow along as you can. You can take your what's called a signup form, and I'll install it. And so basically, I'm just going to copy this line of code here, where this will be a way for people to sign up with my list. And if I preview it, it'll be like when you've seen these things, right? Where someone can type in their name, email address, and now they can join my subscriber list. So I'm just going to grab this, and I'll just copy this out of this thing called Aweber, right? I'll go to my opt-in page, and I'll scroll down to where it says paper template, and I'll just paste in whatever this gobbledygook code stuff is, right? So I'm going to update this page, and now when I view what we have, just by grabbing this one thing out of this thing called Aweber, now we have a form. And now I can actually fill this in, and it will send people, if we're lucky. Whoops, I need to have the download page set up first. But first of all, I can have this thing I'm giving away for free. Then I can go back and say, well, I want to change this headline a little bit, so I will highlight it. I'll go to headlines, and I'll say, you know what? Here are all the possible headlines I can do. Let me grab this. So get this membership site report and receive an extra video free. In this 100% free report, you'll discover how to get a membership site online fast, how to fill it with content, and how to get a recurring income and more. Update. And I mean, if your niche, like we said, it was foreign language, piano playing, WordPress security, self-help, whatever it is, just substitute for your niche. And there we go, it's done. Fill it out, point and click, no technical stuff required. So then what we can do is something even cooler. So do you guys have like a Google account or a Gmail? Well, they have this thing called Google Drive, and you can use it to create PDF files. Here's what I mean. I can say create a document, and I'm just going to call this, since we're really running low on time today, membership site secrets. Okay? And I'm going to put in, I can type in a report. I don't have time to type a report, so I'm going to go to this site called Easy Articles. I'm going to go to this site called YouTube, and what I'll do is I'll search membership sites in Easy Articles, and I'll just say, here's this one, here's this one, here's this one. Let me just grab these 3 articles. I'm going to highlight these, making sure to keep the person's resource box and link and name in here, since that's the rules for Easy Articles. I'm going to right-click and copy, right-click and paste. And then I'm going to go to this other one. I'm going to highlight it, right-click and copy, right-click and paste. And then we're going to go to this final one. I'm going to highlight the whole person. I've actually met this person, I think. We're going to right-click and paste. Okay, so now we've taken these 3 articles that we can redistribute for free. I'm going to call my report Membership Site Secrets. I'm going to put in the URL for my site, and make sure that I center it, make it a hyperlink. Cool. Maybe make that bigger. But then what we can do is, so we've got this document here, and I can put in between their stuff a link back to my site in between every article. So that way I'm still giving people information, I'm still giving these authors prompts, but people are more likely to click on my link than their link. And so what we can now do, so I've made this document in Google Drive, so I didn't use Microsoft Word. If it's a Mac or PC, no big deal. I can go to File, Download As, PDF, and then give this a second. So now you see that it's given us a PDF file that people can easily download and read, 11 pages just from some clicking around. And then what we can do is we can say over on my membership newbie site, I can say new landing page. We'll call this download page. We'll have a pre-written gift page. Actually, yeah, let's call it a gift page instead. Never look a gift page in the mouth. And then we can say membership site secrets. We need to have the download link. So what we can do is say add media, upload files. And I know I'm going really fast, but we're just going to run through this. Membership site secrets. Cool. All right, so we've uploaded this PDF file, and then we're going to link to that, and we'll say download now membership site secrets, insert into page, and now check it out. Now if I publish this, now we can view the page, and after someone fills in that form on my Optin page, they can get here and they can get my PDF file all created. So now I can build a list in just a few minutes just from going and clicking around on the right things. I can even go back to my paper template page and go to my Optin page here, and I can say I want this to be the front page of my site, update that, and then now when I go to membershipnewbie.com, it should go cool to my Optin page. That way I can tell someone on my business card or in an interview, go to membershipnewbie.com right now to claim my free report. And I just made that report in a few minutes. I can always go back and make it better. I can always go back and make more email addresses and things like that. I can go to YouTube and I can say membership site and find like here's Lance Tomashiro with how to create a membership site. I can go back and edit the document and I can say, let's see, click here to claim your bonus video and then paste in the link to that YouTube. And I mean, we're just researching, we're recommending the best solution for people. We're saving them time. Is it all available for free? Yes, that's why we're giving it away for free, but we're giving them more of like a free compilation of all these different things. So I know I clicked around quite a bit, but what we did just now was set up what's called a funnel. We created a free gift by taking 3 articles, putting it on Google Drive, and making it into a PDF. We linked to it from a gift page and then made an opt-in page which explains the gift. Someone comes to the front page of your site, they go to that opt-in page, they fill out the form in order to claim their free gift. Now after they claim the gift, now you can say here's how to get it, and then you can send them over to something to buy. Your sales letter, an affiliate program, and now you have the first part of the system set up, and now all you have to do is send traffic. So now all I have to do is send traffic to membershipnewbie.com. They go here, they see what there is, they fill it out, they end up on that that gift page wherever that was. So 1 second here, if I just turn on a setting here. So after they fill this out, which membership newbie, if they go to gift dash page, I think, then they will end up on this download page, and then we can put a link just by pointing and clicking down to something else to buy. So pretty simple, and I mean this is something you can do from anywhere. I mean this is a place I like to walk sometimes, out in a town called Ripon, California, and I've even opened up my iPhone and just set up stuff or got it started on my phone, come home and finish it up. So adding an opt-in page to an existing blog was pretty easy. We created a Bribe using Easy Articles in Google Drive. We made a download page which we could just point and click with WordPress now. No FTPing, no setting permissions, no editing, config files, whatever those are. We created what's called an opt-in page, which we kind of zoom through, but there's a service called Aweber where you can build an email list, which is the difference between businesses that make it, ones that don't, businesses that make money, ones that don't, businesses that fail, and those that succeed is having a list. So you can then create a whole business in a few minutes just by knowing where to go. You can buy resale rights and then improve on them, and then you can just upload the download file, put up a download page, and then it's all done. Put up a sales letter, use our point and click headlines, use our sub headlines so we can go back to our membership newbie site. We can say, I want to make a new landing page. I'm going to call this sales letter. I can do a pre-written sales page, and then check this out. If we preview this, just in a couple clicks, we have this whole site already created for us. We just have to fill in the blanks. So isn't it a lot easier to fill in the blanks as opposed to trying to reinvent the wheel from scratch? I think filling in the blanks is way easier. So my questions to you is, first of all, where's your flagship website? What's the site that you're most proud of that I can go to right now? That's basically what people call your brand. Where can I subscribe to your list? Where can I buy from you? Why are you different than anyone else? And do you have something that builds on its own every single day without you having to do anything? Because chances are that you only have a piece of the setup and you don't even realize it. Or you have, somewhat of a blog or somewhat of a sales letter, but you don't have all these things working together to bring you in consistent traffic, opt-ins, and sales. Or worse, there's half a sales letter, half a blog, half a membership site, and whether you only are in one niche or you're setting up some new income stream, how profitable is half of that new income stream? Well, not at all. So do you really have the pieces filled in? If we're being honest right now, do you really have that email sequence? Do you really have consistent blog posts? Well, if not, what you hear is to hire someone to do it, or to use this WordPress theme and fill these things in, or piece it together using these 10 tools, and you get all this conflicting advice. So what if instead of all that craziness, you set up just one piece of the puzzle and you were done? So now you're building your email sequence, setting up your blog, and you can stop whenever you wanted to, and you made money every step of the way. It's set up properly, and you have full control. And the secret is to use this system that we've shown you called the income machine. Set up your niche, website, opt-in page, emails, blog, sales letter, membership, and traffic. So you have an opt-in page that gets leads every single day, a sales letter that takes orders, a blog that keeps collecting traffic. So now you can rank in the search engines really highly for things where people have millions of other pages. Have a membership site where people can just go in and pay you money and collect their download, where you don't have to do anything. You have traffic coming in where you can't even stop it whenever even if you wanted to. Like this one site we have gets a terabyte of traffic every single month just because of all the flood of people showing up. And it's all because of this system we have with a sales letter, opt-in page, blog, and membership site called the Income Machine. And Lance and I want to show you how to set up your internet business in just 3 days or less at incomemachine.com. And it's presented to you not in a big flood, not in 24 hours. It's in 8 separate sessions, 8 separate milestones where you watch this video, there's an assignment, we give you all the tools and the checklist to make sure it's all done. Nothing you need to know is left out. You can watch over our shoulder. So it's not just theory. We actually switched to doing it, and obviously it's a lot more slowed down than we had time for today. But we set up a business with you from scratch. You hear our voices, you see our screens, and you finish with your complete business in a box, and you ask questions if you need to at any point along the way. So what you can get is these modules where we show you set up your online presence, lead capture, sales funnel, blog, sales letter, membership site, and traffic. And here's what's really cool is that Lance and I just ran an offline event, a seminar recently. We're running another one in October, and we want you to show up. So we're going to give you access to this Product University 2-day intensive, Saturday and Sunday, 12th and 13th in Salt Lake City. So if you've never attended one of our events or an offline event in general, well, then you're in for a treat, because most people, they buy a course and they don't know what to do next. So what if you set up your website within the next few days, and then after that at some point, like what if hypothetically I came over to your house and met you in person and we changed this and that to get it just right, to get it making traffic, get it making money? Well, I can't make it to each one of your houses, out of your homes, I guess I should say, because then I wouldn't have that recurringly income. But can you come over to my house? Well, great. If the answer is yes, we have a meeting room already reserved at the hotel at 12th and 13th of October in Salt Lake City. It's a 2-day live intensive called Product University. So my bonus for you today is for us to meet in Salt Lake City personally. You get your ticket in for free as our gift to you for joining us inside of incomemachine.com. We're going to meet you at the hotel at Product University Live October 12th and 13th. So just to be clear, we've got these 8 modules. It includes Product University. And how about this? What if you join today and we give you an 8-disc physical DVD set of the whole course? You can pop it in your big screen TV, laptop, whatever. Well, great. I'll send you those physical DVDs. How about I also send you a physical printed manual of everything we said in the course? There's screenshots, there's the exact words we said, all that good stuff. Well, great, free. What if I give you that paper template where I just showed you where I clicked around and set up an opt-in page, sales letter, download page? You just want that for free? Great, it's included. If you want, once all that's done, later on, I'm not saying today, but maybe in a couple of weeks once your sites are set up, if you want to make videos or video products and you want to learn this thing called Camtasia, these things called screen capture videos, great. That's included. If you want to learn how to make PowerPoints for those videos, included. If you want to even do what we're doing right now and present these PowerPoint videos live and record them, we include this other mini course called the Webinar Crash Course. And how about this? Just to make sure you do things every single day, we're going to give you access to the private 4 Daily Tasks Facebook group to make sure that you can stay productive every single day, every month. And there's no recurring fees. This is just included as part of your membership site. And you get lifetime access to all of these recordings and transcripts for a total value of $10,099. So of course it's not going to be that, but it does include everything you need. So we run live events for $2,500. You get many of these courses for $1,000. We have courses like that, but this isn't even $497 or $297. It's just $197 today. So this includes, just to be clear, this includes the Income Machine course, paper template, DVDs, the manual, those other bonus courses, the physical seminar. It includes that live Product University event as a bonus, and the off chance you can't make it to Salt Lake City on October 12th and 13th, we give you full access to the recordings and transcripts even if you can't make it. You get paper template and everything immediately today in the next few minutes after you join us at incomemachine.com to get your website online fast, get your blog set up, membership site traffic, making money, and get the whole system online. It's 100% risk-free where we set up a new income machine in front of you with the resources, tools, transcripts, including screenshots, with your complete system online in 3 days. It has our 30-day 100% priority guarantee. So go ahead, do it right now. Go to incomemachine.com, because are you really going to let today or this week, this month, or this year pass by and experience the same frustrations and confusions you always have? Are you going to let yourself get held back? Or are you going to get a lot done the right way? And are you going to look back and be glad you took that first step? Because even if you already have some pieces of this set up, I'll show you the right way to do it. So what to do right now, the final step, which you can take with me, is to go to www.incomemachine.com to secure your spot right now. Click the pay button and send $197 to log into the site in the next few minutes. It's at incomemachine.com. So hurry up, go ahead, do it right now. And do you want to know the real reason to go right now, the big secret, the big shocker and surprise? If you go right there right now, you can get in on a payment plan and you space it out over 4 payments over about 2 months. So if we go right now to www.incomemachine.com, incomemachine.com, we explain what we talked about, what you need to have in your internet business set up, all simplified for you. There's the different modules explained, and then when we scroll down, there's the information about the live events, the DVDs, the printed manual, paper template, the other mini courses. You scroll down to the bottom, and right here are the buttons. So you can join and pay it all off right now today, or space it out for $49 every 3 weeks, every 21 days. So go there right now, and you know what else too? Remember how we said, if you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change the way you think about it. So if getting a business online is so confusing for you, well then maybe it's time to simplify things. Or if there's all these things you could be doing, maybe it's time to just get the simple system set up and then add on to that. But I mean, if I were to talk to someone, if someone were to tell me that they've been frustrated for years and years online, if they want to double or triple their income, or even if they're getting started, the best place to go right now is Income Machine to get all this stuff set up. So I look forward to seeing you inside the members area in Income Machine. I look forward to seeing you fill out the challenge. I look forward to seeing you where your websites are set up. And most of all, I hope to look you in the eye and shake your hand at Salt Lake City, October 12th and 13th. So go there right now. Go to www.incomemachine.com. We're going to close this webinar down in about 30 seconds. So I want to make sure that you don't just write it down. Literally open up your web browser and type in incomemachine.com and make sure that you get access to this, because I can't guarantee how long we will leave all those bonuses open. I can't guarantee if the seminar will fill up. I can't guarantee how many copies of the manual or the DVDs we'll send out. So go there right now to IncomeMachine.com. So once again, we want you to go to www.IncomeMachine.com to secure your spot right now. Click the pay button and send $197 and log into the membership site in the next few minutes for lifetime access 24 hours a day. You get it all instantly at www.IncomeMachine.com. Go there now. I look forward to seeing you in there. My name is Robert Plank from IncomeMachine.com. Thank you and have a great day inside of the Income Machine members area. Bye now.